Second Cup, brought to you by the Nickel Plate. Sit, sip, savor, and shop.
Hi, everyone. Good morning. It's 8 o'clock on the start of your Tuesday. Glad you're with us for Second Cup. Love having you along as we dig into some hot topics and have some good conversation.
Digging right into hot topics.
Can I tell you?
We have some fun topics today, too.
I am so sad. Can I tell you why?
I know why.
So I don't know, any of you like a Broadway fan or just, I don't know, have that one actor who you really hold up and you're just kind of like, wow, I really love this person. They're so talented and I want to see everything they're in and really enjoy them. So Gavin Creel is that actor for me. And he died yesterday.
Yeah. And he was 48.
Yeah.
That's really sad.
Isn't that crazy?
So young. Yeah.
So my first thought was, oh God, like, I hope it's not drugs. That was genuinely the first, because, you know, like we see what happens with Matthew Perry and you don't know what they're going through and whatever.
You also, I guess I would also say you hear 48 and you also think
the worst.
Well, it's hard to think like, oh, it was natural causes a lot of the time, you know.
But it
was. I know. It's terrible.
Oh my gosh. So we were, Peter says, I heard about that actor, not familiar with his work, and I'm getting into musical theater. Okay. So he was here a year ago for Into the Woods.
And it's hard to believe that it was just a year ago. He's so vibrant.
Right.
Had such a, presence. And then, yeah, it's really sad.
So I interviewed him last year right before he came, and I was like fangirling because I saw him in Hello, Dolly with Bette Midler, and like, Gay as the Day is Long, love Bette Midler. And I was like, oh my gosh, like I am like a degree of separation away from Bette Midler.
Yeah.
And so, he was just like, oh my gosh, I couldn't even believe that I was dancing with her.
Yeah.
Like, isn't that so cool? Like, you check all those boxes and, in your lifetime, you've got something to look back on. But gosh, under 50.
I know. So he had this rare form of cancer, really sad. Kind of makes me think, just make sure we're getting all those screenings done.
Yes, you're right.
Today's October 1st. I don't know that this could ever have been caught. I don't know. He had this rare form of cancer. And again, I don't remember what kind it was, but like makes you think October 1st is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. I was just seeing on GMA, they had all the pink. Mm-hmm. Just keep that in mind. If you haven't scheduled your mammogram and you need to get your mammogram, go get it done.
Linda says, too many famous people have died this past week. Sarah says, somebody has just signed on. Carrie says, just signing on who? We're talking Gavin Creel. He's a Tony Award-winning actor who died yesterday at the age of 48. Sarah, though, says, speaking of theater, I can't wait to see Hamilton when it comes to Buffalo this month. Alexander Hamilton.
You see that?
I saw it once. I'm not going to see it again, but for those of you who have not seen it, you're in for a treat, especially with the King.
Oh, yeah, that's a good character.
So funny. I will kill your friends and family to remind you of my love.
It's a good character.
La, la, la.
So
funny.
Oh, Nancy, very good. She has her yearly appointment this month.
Good.
An appropriate time.
Okay, I have a question about mammograms.
I can't wait to answer it. Yes.
So I saw in some of the video, the nurse.
Saddle up, everybody, because this is going to be something. Yes, the nurse.
The nurse was standing behind the woman with her arm around her. Uh-huh. Does that happen in real life?
Not while they're actually doing the scan. While they're getting you like set up for it.
Okay.
Because they'll tell you to put like your arm up like on to the thing. So they'll like place your arm. They're like, put your arm here, and they'll make sure that you're like all exactly how they need you to be. And then they go behind the little thing because obviously safety first.
Well, that was my thought. I'm like, why is she like just consoling her?
No, she's just like setting her. She's setting her up.
Thank you very much.
Getting set up for the scan.
Things I don't ever think I will know. Lynn says they are just so uncomfortable. Melly, they've got to set you up. Okay. Thank you very much.
Setting you up for the scan. Yeah. No big deal.
Marguerite says George didn't get the memo to wear pink today. Well, make sure you send him.
I didn't even think about that.
Nastagrams. Lori says, things you miss, Ed. Not.
You know what? We can say they're uncomfortable, and sure, like I'm not going to say the most comfortable things in the world, but you know what? They're necessary. It's a necessary evil, if you want to call it that, and it's better that than the alternative.
Melly says men should do scans too. I don't know that I'd be able to get a mammogram.
Well, you should
Like
talk
a
to your
s-
doctor. I think it probably depends on your family history.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And like they can also do ultrasounds
That's
too.
what I was thinking more than anything.
So like if you have dense tissue, they can do an ultrasound also.
If I
And they might send you for an ultrasound also.
build up my chest a little more in the gym, maybe.
Yes.
No laughing matter, though. In all honesty, I mean, it is super important to get your.
But you
sleep.
know what? I like to have the levity with it because then it just makes it not that big of a deal.
Yeah.
Like the more of a big deal we make stuff, the more of a, not a big deal. Go get it done when you're supposed to. If you have a family history, you got to talk to your doctor too because they'll tell you go before 40.
You know what else October 1st means?
What?
30 days until Halloween. Can you believe that? I mean, where did September go? How did that happen? It's just gone.
I know. October 1st already.
But you did some interesting price comparisons when it comes to costumes.
So have you guys gotten costumes yet? We're 30 days here from Halloween. So like, I mean, I'm just thinking in my head, like how far like, let me be clear. My friends' kids have been talking about their Halloween costumes for like the past month. They're all so excited about it. But how early out are we getting our Halloween costumes? Have you thought about that yet?
Gosh.
Like, are you going to dress up? Do you have anything
No,
to dress up
we're
for?
not even really going to be here for Halloween. We have a wedding.
Yeah. Okay. So you don't really have anything to dress up for.
No.
But if you are, like, where do you get your costumes? So John Matteries did a story, and this was like such a great idea. Our consumer reporter was like, go to the thrift stores because all of the parents literally will gift their kids costumes after like 1 or 2 wears. Like how your kid doesn't usually want to be the same thing 2 years in a row. If they do, great. You already got the costume. Maybe you could add something else little to it. But like, look at all these costumes that they had at the thrift store. So like, I would say now is the time probably to go check the thrift stores.
Jeanette has a great question. Is there a Facebook costume group exchange? If there isn't, someone should create one.
Yeah,
That's really smart.
That's a good idea.
Also, I love how everyone wants to be Jeff Baker for Halloween. This is Howard and Peter both commented.
People
I'm
are
going
like,
as Jeff Baker.
That's so funny. I saw Howard the other day.
Tell us
Howard,
more.
well, okay, so I was up in Ransomville filming this story, and then this guy drives by in a truck and he waves. He's like, "Hey, Katie." I'm like, I've got my camera. I'm like, "Hey, what's up?" And he's like, "Howard from Second Cup." And I'm like, "Get out of town, Howard."
Oh my God, that's so funny.
I got so excited.
I love running into people who
Yeah, Howard. It was a short hello because he was like driving by and I'm like, "Hello."
honk honk.
Yeah.
It's like a cat
I know.
call.
It is so fun when you run into people.
It's like, ow, ow, something like that.
Yes, that's what I did to Howard.
Oh, okay.
A cat called him. So the other thing too is that I was price tracking Halloween costumes here because I was like, okay, well, so the thrift store's a great idea. Let's say you go to Target, let's say you go to Walmart. So I price tracked a few of those. Like let's pull some of them up here. John, you can pull up whichever one you want. And we'll just take a look here. Or maybe I'll just pull them up. There we go. Let's see what he went with. Okay, so it's a Beetlejuice kids costume. Okay, so this is at Target, $25. But last week, this costume was, I want to say like 17 something. It was under $18. So it was like $7 off last week, $8 off. And then same thing with the Beetlejuice costume. I think it went up to $25 for kids now, but it had been like a little bit of a lower price. So just keep an eye on these costumes because you can find these cheaper ones and you can find them on sale, but like this isn't the week.
No.
But let me check my Target app really quick because sometimes if you check your apps, you have a coupon and then you can apply it.
So I like what Lynn is saying here. We went to look at costumes. A Beetlejuice costume only has pants and a blazer. It was $59. Where'd you go?
If you were looking for an adult one too, John, pull up that adult Beetlejuice costume from Walmart. It was $20. You can only order it online. Okay. So you'd have to order it like now. That comes with the suit and the tie. Listen, I'm not saying it's the best quality. So yeah, keep in mind though, you don't have the hair with this.
Right.
So you've got to do something for the hair and the makeup. But like, none of these costumes are meant to be worn like a million
No,
times.
you know what? Realistically, you could make it yourself if you wanted to. You just
Yeah.
spray paint a white shirt or something and a white pair of pants, and you're probably saving a lot more money.
Okay, look, Target right now, if you go into their app, literally has a section called deals on Halloween costumes. And you can click. And it just like, chances are some of the ones that I like picked out last week that were on sale just weren't on sale this week. But like right now, some of these are still a little expensive, but these are like top of the line costumes, like Spider-Man and
Skeleton? I have no idea.
is that
Well, let me see. I have no idea. I'm
Spider-Man and
some other guy.
this character They're regularly $74.99. Right now they're $44 to $67.
$80 for a costume? No
So that's the
way.
thing. Well, like, and here's look at this one though. This one's usually $67. It's like a cute little girl witch costume. Right now it's on sale $30 to $33.
So Diamond says we buy our costumes the year before and buy them new for $5 or $10 instead of $30 to $40.
Love that.
We shop around until we find the one we want, normally available till the end of November on clearance. That's a good idea. It's kind of
Love
like
that.
buying your holiday stuff.
The only problem,
The year
like
before.
if you're an adult, that's a great idea because you know that that's what you're going to be. The only
Yeah.
problem is if you've got a kid and then they change their mind.
Somebody said, what happened? Oh, Naomi. Sorry, Peter. What happened to making your own? No one has creativity anymore.
We used to make our own costumes because my mom used to make us.
Peter says, how about somebody goes as Katie and Ed?
Oh my God, that would be so cute.
That would be kind of cute.
Remember my friend's class the one year did that? They dressed up as Katie and Ed.
Yeah.
They did like and Andy.
That was
when it was
adorable.
really cute. Yeah.
Jason says, if I dress up, I would go as a news anchor. Lynn also says, Beetlejuice kids costume size small, $59.
Okay, so check Target because that kid's costume that I saw, Beetlejuice, and I'm not saying like again, I'm sure with quality comes price,
Yeah,
right? And
Yeah.
vice versa,
you can only hope.
you would assume. But this started at $25.
I'm dying at Anita's comment here. I wear the hat, carry the broom every single day.
Thank you.
But Shonda, yes, my girl. I am so glad that you said this. I am 50 and so badly want to rock a DCC costume. Do you know what that is?
No.
Dallas Cowboy Cheerleaders.
Oh my God.
Girl, that is the
Shonda,
coolest thing in the entire
Good for
world.
you, because the last thing I would be able to do would be rock that.
DCC, woo!
They'd be like, please cover up.
I am obsessed with the Dallas Cowboy Cheerleaders. Like, do you watch that show? Did you watch the Netflix special with Judy and Kelly? And then what's her name? Jerry Jones' daughter. What is her name?
I have not watched the show ever.
You've got to. It is so good. It is like an epic competition to become one of like 36 women who are
Oh,
these
I mean,
high-class dancers.
I get the concept.
Jerry Jones'
I should
daughter.
have worn pink today. I wasn't really thinking about that.
I told you. Oh, Charlotte.
Charlotte, that's a cute name.
Charlotte Jones.
Kelly says, Kids Corner Clothing Consignment says costumes still in the package. Niagara Falls Boulevard in NT near Nash Road. Great to know.
Peter says, I dressed up one year as Clark Kent, had a Superman shirt under a button down.
That's a good one.
Love that. That's easy.
That's
That's
real cheap.
practical.
Worn at the office. Yeah.
Smart. Lori knows what I'm talking about. She said it's awesome. Love that. Okay.
Just let us know too if you see any good Halloween costumes. Oh, and on another side, while we're still talking about Halloween, did Erin throw in that house? I thought, John, did Erin throw in the house? She was going to put in the house that was all decked out, but I don't know that I see it.
Where is it?
I don't know that I see it. She was going to do.
No. Where was it from?
It was from the show this morning. Remember the house
Yeah,
in
but what
Kenmore?
street?
Shepherd.
Thank you.
What?
I just wanted to know.
Oh, it's on Shepherd in Kenmore.
Okay.
And so we were talking about Halloween houses, and we were just saying, if you guys see a good one, take a picture for us and send it to us and tell us we can use it on TV and use it on air. I think here it comes. Yeah.
Ooh.
So I drove by this one the other day and I was like, ooh, that's creepy.
I used to live around the corner from Shepherd.
That's a scary looking house.
I don't like the pig.
Like sometimes you see some like cutesy Halloween decorations. These are scary ones. So we sent our photographer out to shoot it. Look at all the stuff that they have out there.
Weg Limbs Market. That's cute.
Isn't that funny? They've got the Halloween baskets and
Oh,
stuff too.
geez. Wow.
Yeah.
They went all out.
Yeah.
How about that one house? Oh, blood. 100% juice.
Blood, yeah.
How about that one house up in, what was it, Niagara County that had the skeleton stolen or the head stolen?
Yeah.
Crazy.
My parents have a really good house out near them too. So if you see a good house, just let us know. Take some pictures maybe.
Yeah,
Or
you
if
can
your
send it to
house is
us.
decorated really well, let us know.
Caitlin says there's a house in Kaisertown that does a skeleton Bill's tailgate. It's awesome. Okay, snap a picture, Caitlin.
Yeah. People get so creative with all this stuff too.
Send it to us.
I have 2 little signs.
We don't do anything for Halloween.
I have 2 little signs.
We're so boring.
They're so cute.
We're 2 old gays.
Do you give out candy at least?
No, we're never home for Halloween. We usually go out trick or
Do you
treating with the
leave out
kids.
candy at least? Like,
No. We don't even turn our porch light on.
I'm gonna go egg your house. You deserve it. You don't even leave out candy for the kids?
No, what are we gonna do?
If it's really nasty out, like if it's nice out, I always try to handle Halloween like initially, but then I always have to go to bed. So then I end up leaving my brother in charge or I put out the candy.
Does your dog get crazy?
Oh my God, he loses his mind. He loses his mind because people keep coming to the door,
Yeah.
and that's like his favorite thing in the world. Yeah.
Linda says we don't get any kids at all. Sarah's cracking up. We are. You know, I would much rather be with the girls and my nephew.
Well, it's so much more fun to see kids, but I would leave out some stuff. You don't want to be on the receiving end.
Well, I mean, if you don't turn your porch light on, doesn't that mean that
Yeah,
don't
the
come?
kids should just go.
Yeah. Ed, you and Russ are not old. Late 20s is not old. God bless you for saying that. He's well over 20. Russ is like the oldest in our friend group, too. He's always the oldest. He's like the dad.
You don't even know if you get a lot of kids in your neighborhood.
I mean,
we don't get that many kids.
we do. We get a lot of people.
Way over by always. And then,
What happens to all that candy?
well, as I told you that I left last year, I was like, I have to go to bed. So I left the Halloween candy with my brother who lives downstairs, and he was taking his tax, eating all the Butterfingers. I'm like, that's not fair to the kids.
Linda says when we lived in Cheektowaga, we get over 100 kids.
Wow, that's a lot of
That is a
kids.
lot. Anita says, I already bought and ate my first round of Halloween candy. Good for you.
Fantastic.
Jeanette, we used to sit outside with wine, but we really don't get many kids anymore. And then it
See,
turns into
that's
too much
my
wine.
that's my ideal Halloween. Like, it's a nice night out. It's a Friday, so I can actually stay up. I can sit out there with a glass of wine. I can like look at all the little kids' cute costumes.
Yeah.
We get some teens too. We get some older kids. The first year we bought so much candy the first year we had our house. It
Here's
was
the other thing, too.
ridiculous.
I
We had to
think-
chase kids down and give it to them.
Well, right. When you live in like an upper or a lower, you know, especially if you live in Buffalo, like we both live in uppers.
I
and
know, but I put
lowers,
my little lights on. I got my little signs.
and everyone's like, "Ooh, I don't want to go up that creepy driveway."
Year one, Paul and I were like chasing the children down to give them candy. So that could be part of the reason why we don't get kids anymore.
My mom says kids never come to our house because there were 5 houses across from our one.
Ah, quantity over quality.
Oh. Elizabeth says last year one house was giving out shot bottles for parents and candy for the kids. I love that.
That's a fun idea.
My mic says I'm sounds like I'm underwater. Maybe because I was sitting on it. I like Anita's idea. Make a fire pit, pour the wine, relax in a comfy chair,
Oh, great.
and hand out candy.
Yeah. That
Is my
sounds-
mic better now? My mic's not working, they say.
Oh, darn. We can't hear Ed.
Better is what Linda's saying.
What a shame.
No, it's better. I know. I think it's okay. It's better. I think it's because I was sitting on it. Yeah.
Here, let me see it.
No, Katie, we know it'll happen. Remember that one year that you broke your mic?
I remember the year that
It
you
was
broke my
Dingus
mic.
Day.
I remember the year
Katie
that
was
you-
squirted with water and she got it all wet, dropped her mic, and it broke. It did not work.
I did not squirt myself with water, nor was I expecting to be squirted with water at that exact point in time.
The engineers were not happy with Katie. Diamond says Jello shots and beers at a house in Akron, always my favorite stop. Let's go there. Though I would contest that if you have both, you'd be sick.
I would also contest that the engineers like me a lot more than they like you. And they're only human. Okay. Yeah, that does sound fun. Jello shots?
Yeah, I love Jello shots.
That's fun.
But I don't like it when it's like the green kind. I don't like the green Jello shots. I like the red ones or the purple ones, or I like champagne in my Jello shots.
Caitlin says houses in Kaisertown hand out Jello shots. I just think Halloween is cute. I love to see all the little kids dressed up, and I love to ask them what their little costumes are. Who are you? And now I'm so old that I'm like, who's that?
Oh,
I'm blah blah from blah. I'm like, I don't know what these kids are talking about.
we went up to the Great Pumpkin Farm for Rosalie's birthday a couple of weekends ago.
Adorable.
I posted some pictures, and Adriana, she goes, Uncle Ed, will you come up with me so I could carry her tube up the big slide? And I'm like, of course I will. But those moments are so fleeting.
You go down a tube with a tube on the big slide?
Yeah, it's really cool.
Is it like the same slide when we were kids that you went down on the
The sacks.
sack?
It's a little bit different.
Remember those sack
Yeah,
slides?
I did not like those. I thought that.
Oh
was
my god, I
weird.
used to love those.
No, I didn't. Katie,
That was so growing up. Put your feet in the sack, now slide down the
yeah,
slide.
I'm surprised that you liked that because
Put
my
your feet in the
first
sack.
Yeah,
It's disgusting.
it was disgusting.
But I was a kid.
There were so many germs.
Now I probably would hate it.
I hated it as a kid. As a kid, I was just so much more aware of like things than I should have been as a kid.
I mean, like they had a very strong smell. It was like a burlap
Yeah,
sack.
exactly.
But I used to love that. Now that I think about it, it's probably where half my problems came from.
Jeff says, I'm dead to him. Why? Howard says, potato sacks is all that it was. Them or cow feed or something organic. I know, but like, how many other people had touched them before you? Do you know what I mean?
It's fine.
That's gross.
You know what, though? When you're a kid, that's all the stuff you do. Kids do gross stuff. Oh.
Tammy says they're blowing up pumpkins on Friday for their opening day. Oh, cool. Okay. Okay, Caitlin says, I used to swim in the Buffalo River. I was so naive. Now I would never.
I remember when we moved into my parents' house and there's a pond in the backyard, but it's like a retention pond. It's not like the water is not constantly circulating. It's not whatever. And we're like, can you swim in it? My parents were like, you cannot. No.
Let's talk about these school bus cameras.
Yeah, let's talk about that quick.
So many of you are heading out to work, school, wherever you're going today, but keep this in mind that for the first time, I mean, I can't imagine that many of you are doing this, but if you happen to find yourself in this situation, keep this in the back of your mind. There are cameras on every single school bus in the city of Buffalo now. So if you go around to stop school bus, it'll cost you well over $200. And that's just the fine for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
So realistically, they're expecting a lot of this to be cut down because people are going to get fines in the mail. And, you know, over the 90-day period, 2,000 people were warned.
Wow, that's a lot. I have to
That's a
sneeze.
lot
I'm
of
sorry.
people. And keep in mind that not every single bus was out, bless you.
Excuse me. Right, because it was summer school and not
Right.
like full-on school.
Anita says cameras are a wonderful thing for school buses. I can't imagine that this is going to be a bad thing, although people are going to obviously be complaining when they get the ticket.
Yeah, and I wonder, like, it'll be a good thing if it works always correctly. I always just like question stuff like that. You know what I mean? You're going to have these instances that people are going to dispute, right? They're going to say something happened and X, Y, and Z.
Okay, so Caitlin says if the lights are on because they're stopped, but the sign and but no stop signs out, do you still need to stop? I think so. And
Okay, Caitlin, that was my question too, because I literally had this experience and I told Ed about it.
right.
And
And what did I say? I don't remember.
you said you weren't sure. I said the same thing. The red lights were blinking. There's a bus on the side of the road. Red lights were blinking. No stop sign out.
Right.
No stop arm out. And they were there for a long time. So like eventually I was like the fourth car behind them. So eventually cars like started really slowly going by. Like, are you just like they did?
And so we heard from a couple of bus drivers this morning who said that they could
They can
theoretically
wave
wave
you
you
by.
on.
Like that, I would love to have an answer to. And like the other question is like, does that happen often or is that like just a random thing?
Right.
'Cause
Jeff Baker.
That I question that also.
So Jeff Baker says, complain all you want. It's the price for being an idiot. Barbara says, when in doubt, stop. Marguerite wondering, are the cameras on the stop arm? No. So here's how the cameras are placed. They're on the side of the bus.
Mhm.
So it's kind of like this trapezoid looking thing that's on the side of the bus, and it's got cameras on either end. And once the stop arm comes out, and the stop arm is literally the stop sign,
Yeah.
um,
So
it activates the cameras.
Diamond says it's sad we need to do this. Thought it was common sense. Someone else says if the lights are blinking, it's a yield like a stop light. That is my only question. I mean, it is very clear when the stop sign is out,
Mhm.
when the stop arm is out, you are stopping. When you know what I mean, like when the bus is stopping. The only like reason I like took pause and like questioned it was because the bus was sitting on the side of the road for a long time.
You know what I would do? I would honk at the bus driver and see if they wave you on.
Be like,
Yeah, what are you doing?
hi.
What's going on
Question.
here?
Do I
India
go?
Walton joining us on Twitter. She says if the lights are blinking, it's a yield just like the stoplight. But she also says traffic is supposed to stop on both sides of the street. And this is something that you have really been talking about, Katie, because I think also really important to bring
Because
up.
I'm so nervous about it. You know, I would never want to do the wrong thing. And like,
You nervous? You don't say.
my friend says that I spiral. Like stuff happens and I think about things and I spiral and he's not wrong.
Bottom line, if you're on the other side of a street, say where there is a concrete median or a grassy median, you
That's an
still
important one.
have to stop.
You still have to stop.
Like Sheridan, for instance.
Sheridan Drive, right?
Um,
Maple, for example, doesn't have a median, but it is like 2 to 3 lanes on both sides,
gotta
depending,
stop.
and you got to stop. Now, I do think over the years, buses and bus routes have changed such that kids are not crossing Sheridan or Maple. You know what I mean? Unless it's an absolute emergency, because yikes. So they probably go around so that the kids can get off right where.
Elizabeth says it's way worse on main streets. The side streets seem to be safer. Diamond says they wait for children's parents to step out, then put the stop sign out when the children exit the bus.
Well, if you see a person like slowly creeping by and going like this, should I? I don't know. Should I go
It's Katie.
around? You're looking at her.
We got to go. Have a great day, everyone. We'll see you tomorrow.